Yes, my name is PJM Munangane, Patrick Junior Monti Munangane, and I'm the representative of Boards Company of South Africa, which is a private company that deals with the holdings of different types of boards in the different types of sectors across South Africa. I have compiled this video on behalf of our beautiful partners of Action SA, which is a political party that is in Limpopo for the Polokwane cluster, so that we can be able to assist them to be the best political party to win the elections in Limpopo. Now I'm going to derive my 10 leadership lessons from Emperor Shaka Zulu. We all know Shaka Zulu, the fierce Zulu warrior who lived many years ago, but we learned some leadership lessons from him. And then after that, we'll also be having leadership lessons that we also learned from Stephanus Johannes Paul Kruger, otherwise known as Moon Paul, who is the former ZAR state president of South Africa. Now, Action SA, you must understand that for you to be number one or for you to win elections, you need to be smart. Number one, you need to apply the 10 leadership lessons. Leadership number one, mission is more important than convention. What is your mission as Action SA? You need to understand what is your mission, apply your mission, than to convert things without having a mission. Number two, know the battlefield better than the enemy. Shaka Zulu had spies that he actually sent across other tribes just to give him information on how is it that those particular tribes are operating, which gave him an idea on how is it that he is able to attack, because he's got first-hand information. When you know the battlefield better than the enemy, this is where you get to tread where other political parties fail to do. You know, what is it that they're doing wrong? How is it that you can be able to expose corruption? How is it that you can be able to take over as government and be able to transform and change the lives? Because I've seen some videos that you've been posting online of Mr. Tapelo Godfrey Molepo, the candidate for mayor candidate, how he was going to wards and exposing the different types of poor service delivery in the province of Limpopo, particularly for the Polokwane cluster. Number three, tread where angels fear to tread. In other words, do not be afraid to go into wards and expose the things that the ruling parties have been doing. There was a video that you posted online of houses that which the foundation was not well dug, and then also the houses that were dilapidated, ready to fall at any time. Those are some of the things that you need to expose as Action SA, so that people can have an idea and understand that for them to be relieved from that, it's important that Action SA must be the one voted in to be of assistance to them. That is a key factor. Another part, never rely on your own PR, get an expert. As you're going around trying to expose the corruption of Limpopo and everything, it's important that you need to not rely on your own PR. What am I saying? I'm saying to you, as you are doing campaigns and everything, it's important that you need to start applying your actions now and not wait for the election time. Because the political landscape in South Africa has come to a point where people are no longer interested in what politicians are saying. They see everybody as an opportunist, everybody wanting to enrich themselves. But as Action SA, if you come up with methods which I'm going to break down to you, you will be able to have a clear score, so that when you're moving forward, you don't find yourself frustrated. Right? Be apprenticed to a conqueror. As you're going around building branches, see yourself as victors, see yourself as winning. Assure the people that when Action SA comes on board, it's not going to be cheap and talk, hey, we don't have a budget for this and that. You are ready to curb corruption, you are ready to do service delivery, as well as apply the promises that you made through your manifestos of creating of jobs. And I also like that idea of you saying that instead of having tendering systems, we might as well have people employed within the municipality to be able to facilitate infrastructure, public work services. So that is another key point that is perfect. Right. Build a fanatical team. Mr. Molepo, it's important that you need to build a fanatical team. You know, okay, this is a team of people that I'll be working with within the structure as well as across the wards. In other words, this team, they need to undergo training that is unique, not normal political training that is of unique descent, where they'll be taught how to think, what is governance, and what is how to raise funds, and how is it there to mobilize for the community, and how to do community development. Because this thing of saying Amandla, like Amandla, yes, away to, then what? You understand? People are tired of these singing slogans and these revolutionary songs. People need service delivery. People need action. They don't need land, because now people are not farmers. People just want compensation. They want to have jobs so that they can be able to contribute towards the economy of the province of Limpopo. Build lasting monuments. Now that you'll be taking over the local government, remember there's also the national government, and there's also opposition parties that are also going to come on board. It's important that Action SA must have a mission and a vision of how is it that they're going to build lasting monuments. Because the very same energy that you have, the very same types of passion that you have, that you want to carry forward, it's important that it needs to be channeled in the right direction. All right. This also goes hand in hand to also to your superiors, the provincial chairperson as well, to also align and see that are you within the structure or the mission and the vision of the umbrella body of Action SA. And sometimes it's not even appropriate to have every Tom, Dick and Harry like fit it into the umbrella. What is important is service delivery, which we're going to be talking about. Now, for Action SA to be successful, number one, you need to liaise with viable, credible organizations. These are your NGOs, these are your community-based organizations that are doing and impacting society. You partner with those particular organs, and then you give them a list. These are the types of households, for example, that are destitute. They don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have, if there's an NGO that is doing that, then that NGO will be able to take that information to the advantage, be able to provide that for them. And then who gets the credit? Action SA. So people will be able to say, I got bread, I got a house, I got a job, I was able to be fed because of Action SA. Definitely, for sure, I'm voting for Action SA. Viva Action SA, viva. You understand? And not wait for the elections to come. You start now. We're in the month of June, so it's June, July, August, September, October. By the time we arrive in November, trust me, when people go to the secret ballot, Action SA, Action SA, and there is no particular person or citizen who will want to receive free food parcels for a consecutive number of years, maybe 3 years or 5 years. There's no individual who's not looking for a permanent job, even if it's temporarily, maybe not like 6 months, like 3 years on a contractual basis. It's something. There's no individual who wouldn't want to have a decent house. There's no individual who wouldn't want to be educated. So the list goes on and on how is it that you can be able to actually make sure that things are running smooth. Number two, the issue of service delivery. Once you get into power, you make sure that you sit down, you structure everything, how service delivery is going to take place. People need roads. You check Ramulepo, how the roads are, and not only Ramulepo and other wards. You check the state of water. Some places, water is a disaster. Electricity. These RDP houses that are weak and lack of privacy, they must be demolished. And then new RDP houses with a unique nature must be embodied. And then that way, you'll be able to grow and be smart. Now, let's get to Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu knew that he had to become a leader one way or another. He had to ascend the throne that was rightfully for him. With that same energy, Mr. Malepo, with that same passion, after gathering all these information, you sit down with the relevant stakeholders, as I've indicated to these NGOs. You say, guys, here is the situation that we're having. Our people don't have water, people don't have roads, decent housing, jobs, training, entrepreneurship, all those things. And then all these NGOs will be able to say, okay, and I'll take over education, I'll take over social development, I'll take over what. And then when they go to the public, you as guys of Action SA are going to be there to say, comrades, this is what we are doing for you. We've heard your cries. Then you're able to dispatch those things. If it's food parcels, people receive food parcels, not only on that particular day, maybe on a monthly basis, because some organizations have got too much money where they can be able to give people food vouchers. Trust me, by the time the election date comes, people know that Action SA takes care of us. And even if you won the elections, those food parcels and all those service deliveries still do not stop. You still build a partnership with them for a maximum of 3 to 5 years, and then it continues on and on and on. Then that way it makes the job to be much more easier, because if there are learnerships that are coming, then you know which wards are going to receive If there are job opportunities that are coming, you know which people are going to see preferences, so that the organization as Action SA does not have to stumble, because now you're getting into the shoes where you have to clean up the corruption. There's a lot of debts and a lot of backlog, financial mismanagement of funds and backlog that has to be cleaned. There are a lot of arrests that must be issued for people. So it's going to be a lengthy process, and people are going to expect miracles from you guys. Certain miracles you cannot perform because there's a process and a protocol that must be followed, especially on national level. Here on the ground, you can have all the energy, but at national level, if they're dragging their feet, then automatically it makes the things to not function very well. So you need skill and strategy so that you can be able to achieve your goals very well. Then we come to Paul Kruger. Johannes Stephanus Paulus Kruger was the ZARZ Afrikaanse Republic president. And what thing I like about his leadership lessons is that when the Boers were in power, things were actually progressive, because Boers are people who make a plan. They say a Boer maak a plan. They're actually smart and creative. Now, when the British wanted to take over and annex Transvaal, Paul Kruger could not allow that, because he knew that they were looking for the gold and the diamonds and the minerals that were in Transvaal. So he was so smart to a point that he took what we call the Kruger rents, extracted them as well as the gold, and hid them where nobody could be able to find those Kruger rents even today. What was very interesting about Paul Kruger was the fact that he actually stationed 3 trains, one for decoy, and this one, the other train had carried the gold and the Kruger coins. The other one had carried the Kruger government. So these coaches or trains, they were steam trains at the time, they traveled in the main station, and this one, it was a decoy. There was nobody driving the train. When the train reached the station where the British had thought that they were gonna capture Paul Kruger, they discovered that there's nobody in the train, only to find that the second train with the gold had actually gone the other direction. According to the historians, they've gone to Maputo, and then they had to drop off Paul Kruger, and Paul Kruger had to go to exile in overseas. And then I think he was in Austria, yes, and Vienna, Austria, and then that's where he died. So, but he was able to fight, because there was what we call the Anglo-Boer War with the British. So now, in terms of history, this is where people get to not understand what actually happened, saying that people are racist, hey, apartheid, this and this. We cannot blame apartheid for everything. Certain things we as individuals are responsible for. We're having townships that are dirty. You go to Orania. Orania is very clean because people are working for themselves. They even have a cooperative bank. They bought the land that people did not want to use. Why is it that political parties are unable to take their societies and transform them? You understand? So as you will be taking over local government, you start from the ground, your rural areas. You sit with these mushates, because they are the ones who are actually causing a disaster. They have huge amounts of money in their bank accounts, but there's no development in the area. How do you have a rural area that is rich in history and that the roads are terrible? How do you have a rural area that is thriving and most educated descendants are in Gauteng and other provinces? Limpopo is losing a lot of academics. Our academics are scattered across other provinces. Other provinces are rich because we are producing academics, and they are leaving because there's nothing for us to do here in Limpopo. Only a few who are elite are able to see the mission and the vision of what Limpopo is doing. So Action SA, this is your chance for you not to do the Amanda away too, but we start now doing action, and then we have monthly meetings or quarterly meetings to check on the progress. You see, if people are happy, trust me, it says a lot, and people will be able to spread the mouth. Did you see what actually happened when you guys had was it a rally, a conference there at Jigbotas, when people took off the ANC and the EF t-shirts and burning them? That very same spirit is the same spirit that people are going to be carrying in over. And one thing that you must never make a mistake. While these other political parties are being disbanded and people are coming to Action SA, do not give those people leadership positions, because they're going to mess you up. You, as the patriots of Action SA, if you spot an individual with potential, give them a lesser position where they don't have too much influence or power. Unless if the person volunteers themselves to say, no, I was in the ANC, I'm going to become a ward committee, a ward councillor for a certain ward, then it's okay. But you must monitor them and give them the terms and conditions. of being a member of Action SA, the do's and the don'ts, so that we don't find ourselves where people are going to be power hungry and running over for positions that they are not suitable for. Education is key, professional etiquette, and then also pronunciation of words. As an educator, I'm sorry to say this, but I have a problem with how politicians speak. I was telling this other young man yesterday, saying, no, the people are tired. It's people. P-E-O-P-L-E. It's people. There's no people. The matter. There's no matter. It's matter. M-A-T-T-E-R. So people must learn to pronounce words clearly and not speak words that are violent. And another thing that I must also highlight, especially the girls in the political parties. I've seen in the ANC, the girls are sluts and hoes. They behave well. They want to sleep with comrades. Amanda, going there, eventually cleavage and all those things. We don't want that in Action SA. There must be order. There must be control. People must be dressed appropriately, professionally, behaving professionally, not tarnishing their reputation. Because remember, we've got different or multiple types of political parties that are not sitting down. Right now, MK has just been launched in Polokwane. They're quiet. We don't know the surprise that they're coming and they're observing. As I'm telling you now, I just received some intelligence that there's a member of an ANC who has established a foundation where they're giving people food parcels. Just yesterday, they were giving people food parcels, and I was there just to witness in secret. And the guy started a foundation. He's actually campaigning to be a ward councillor. So you see, he's now buying the interest and also of people, despite the fact that ANC has got drama and everything. So Action SA must take heed of this opportunity and use it wisely. We understand you're not going to receive any kickbacks like financially, but you're able to say, guys, this is what is happening, and we can be able to work forward. So as Boss Company of South Africa, we are willing to be of assistance to you through the organizations that we have to make sure that the province of Limpopo, where we are coming from, because the monies that we have, we usually travel across all provinces of South Africa. And it worries me because now, as a child who's been born here, let alone I've got different types of descents, like I'm half Zulu and half Limpopoan, but I need to start home because charity begins at home. Let us build Limpopo and make sure that we do right. And once you are in the seat, don't stay for too long. If it's 5 years, serve and go. Maybe go to provincial level. You understand? This thing of staying too long in the seats is causing drama because you end up getting relaxed and getting used to the system. And then there'll be so many corruption cases coming up and down, this and doing that and this and this. You know, this one behaving like they have only no sense at all and everything. So it's important that you need to understand that for you to climb up, you need to be smart. That's why we say, tread where angels fear to tread. Now, if you check, Shaka Zulu had a method of how to actually kill his warriors. They had a long spear, which he actually cut and made it a short spear, which they call the Ikwa. So when he's raising the spear, he's able to go and pierce and kill. So you have a strategy where you encircle the enemy. How is it that you encircle in other words, how do you take over all these wards from ANC, from DA, from EFF, etc.? You understand? You need to come up with a plan. When you wake up every morning, you sit up with your team, you have a strategic plan, you pray, I would call it pray, when you do your action plan. Okay guys, we've tackled this ward and this ward, this is how we're going to do. Like these missionaries, what they do, have you ever seen these Jehovah Witnesses people? They have a caucus to discuss, guys, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do when we enter into people's houses, and people are welcoming them even though they are not of their same church, but just to give them attention. And at the end of the day, they have something to say, you know what, we've made it, we've achieved, and they have a message that they're spreading across. We even have these missionaries of Latter-day Saints, of the Mormon, these other group that just emerged. Okay, I'm in the Anglican Church and the Anglican Mission of South Africa. Do you know that in the past, when people wanted to transport messages from their loved ones in exiles, they used abafundisi, baruti, and bishops to transfer the messages? Because a muruti is somebody you can just search in there. You understand? They used to carry messages and hide it inside. So even the church has played a very good role in service delivery. So Action SA, as you're coming on board in all the different types of spheres, we've got a comprehensive plan of how is it that as Boss Company of South Africa under Transfer Gotham Congress, we have actually planned. you need to understand that challenges are going to be there. How you represent yourselves in parliament is also important. You just don't argue like kill the boer, kill the farmer. You know the red ends with no sense at all. You are going to be professional. You're going to address matters. You're going to stand and having facts. And when you have facts, then you know that automatically you're going to be a winner and a victor. So make sure that you use skill, use strategy, use planning, and then you become cunning so that you are able to win over the election. So that when people go up and down, going door to door, people must go like, hey, another sharp, like action say. People must be able to put a board sign, entrance ni. No other political parties allowed. Have you ever seen people of the ZCC church, when you enter into the homes, just by looking at the wall of seeing the face of their leader, automatically you could tell that they belong to. So people must be able to say, now we belong to Action SA, and Action SA must never make a mistake to disappoint people. You need these organizations like NGOs so that while you're busy doing your budgets, because once you take over power, it's not going to happen overnight, a miracle where you're going to hire people. Remember, it's November, December, come January, there's the financial year, there's blah blah, there's a lot of things to be done. So these organizations can be able to keep people busy. Like we've got organizations where they deal with public works. Maybe a school is being built in Venda or somewhere. Then we have people from the community that are adopted, and they're going to be building schools, will organize accommodation, food, everything for them. And at least they're contributing to the economy, they're getting paid. There's an organization that is busy doing building of schools. Then we know that, okay, we've got people who are skilled construction workers. Like, while you are busy fixing yourself, then once your budgets are in place, then you can be able to take those people and transfer them. And remember, the list of people is going to be long. So those are the key strategies that I'm giving you as Boss Company of South Africa, and you need to apply them. And this video, I've made sure that it does not go viral. I did not paste it on YouTube. I've just placed it, I've just edited it for you specifically, so you can share it amongst your Polokwane cluster members as well as your provincial team for Action SA. And then be smart and be strategic, and when you need more information, we'll be able to give it to you. How is it, what to do and what not to do, because you need to listen to the advice of the people so you can be able to climb the corporate ladder. We wish you all the best, and may the good Lord bless you. As we say in Latin, et nominis et Patris et Filius et Spiritus Sancti. May the good Lord bless you, may he shine his face upon you and do you good. In Jesus' name, amen.